And we know that President Biden also spoke with Lula following those riots. What's been the reaction from the administration following what we saw in the country's capital?
Hi, good night. So, three main things happened since Bolsonaro supporters stormed Brazil's capital yesterday. First of all, Brazil's President Lula decreed an intervention in the security of Brasilia, allowing the security forces to act together and to expel the protesters from those buildings that are the seat of government. After that, they started arresting thousands of those protesters who are now, being taken into custody in police to see what's going to be their, taking their testimony, seeing what's going to be the next steps. And also, what's happening today is an outpour of support for President Lula. So we're going to have pro-government protests happening in São Paulo today. We have state governors who flew into Brasilia to express their support to the government as well. And also, Lula earlier today had this meeting, as you said, with this own conversation, as you said, with President Biden, who expressed his support to Brazilian democracy.
So, Walter, how much of a sense of stability or a return to normalcy is there in Brazil right now? Because the way that the markets reacted, we're expecting them to be really pummeled by this political drama, but in fact, they actually gained ground.
Yeah, what's the interesting thing is that the reaction of Brazil's political forces, of the international community, has been such that Lula is actually coming out of this stronger than he was. So I think that while the market will certainly be worried that important things that Lula needs to approve will be delayed, at the same time he's getting a stronger hand after being tested by those protesters over the past hours. It's probably this reaction that the protesters did not foresee.
As we mentioned earlier, President Biden and Lula also had a phone conversation today. What were the details from that call? And what is the status when it comes to the presence of Bolsonaro in the US, given that this has now become more of an issue following the events of the last couple of days?
Yeah, so, keep in mind that Bolsonaro left Brasilia a few days before his term ended because he didn't want to participate in the power handover ceremony that took place on January the 1st, when Lula took office. So he is now in Florida, and it's becoming kind of a problem for the U.S. government because, we published a story saying that they don't know exactly what to do with him, but he's clearly becoming an inconvenience to Biden in Florida. At the same time, today he was admitted to hospital because he was feeling again some abdominal pain. So at this point, he's hospitalized in the U.S.